Welcome back to the channel. I'm Zach Kennedy, qualifying broker and realtor here in Birmingham, Alabama. And in this video, I'm walking you through 5 things that you can do right now to get your home sold without sitting on the market, chasing price cuts, or taking 5 to 10% less of your initial asking price. These are the exact strategies that we can offer you to show up powerfully in the MLS. Present your home professionally and attract attention. Drive real showing traffic. Re-engage potential buyers who are on the fence. And most importantly, price your home effectively to outcompete your neighbors and survive the contract to close process. If you're thinking about selling or you've tried already and it didn't work, this will help you reset and sell smarter.
Number 1, be in the right places with the right strategy. Let's start with what most sellers underestimate: how critical MLS placement really is. When your home is listed in the MLS, it becomes the central hub for buyer discovery. It's instantly syndicated to every major real estate platform: Zillow, Realtor.com, Redfin, Homes.com, plus thousands of agent sites and mobile apps. According to the National Association of Realtors, over 80% of buyers ultimately find the home they purchased through an online search or their agent, both of which are powered by the MLS. But just being in the MLS isn't enough. 2 listings can launch on the same street at the same price, but one gets showings and momentum and the other crickets. The difference? Marketing strategy. A marketing-minded agent knows how to engineer bonus interest, those extra clicks, shares, and buyer inquiries that come from targeted social media ads, email campaigns to active buyers and agents, listing videos and photography that stop the scroll, and a launch strategy that builds urgency from day one. But here's the part that's really important right now. We're not in 2021 anymore. It was easy to sell a home in 2020, 2021, and even the first half of 2022. Inventory was scarce, interest rates were at record lows, and buyers were flooding the market. Today's market is different. Interest rates are higher, buyers are pickier, and days on market are climbing. It takes real skill to price properly, generate strong showing traffic, negotiate confidently, and keep a deal from falling apart between contract and close. That's why sellers right now should be looking for agents who are actively in the game, not just licensed, but actively marketing listings, actively emailing their database, actively generating buyer leads through social media. Because now is when the difference between a marketer and a message taker really shows. A strong MLS presence gets your home on the stage. The right agent creates the spotlight, the buzz, and the offers. Number 2, make your home irresistible online and in person. Buyers shop with their eyes first, and in this market, how your home looks online determines whether it ever gets seen in person. That means your first showing isn't happening in your living room. It's happening on a screen, on Zillow, Realtor.com, or a buyer's favorite home search app. That's why professional presentation and visual marketing aren't optional, they're essential. A clean, staged, professionally photographed home doesn't just look better, it performs better. Listings with professional photos get 61% more views and sell significantly faster. Staged homes, according to RESA, sell 73% faster and often for thousands more. When a buyer sees a well-staged space with thoughtful lighting, clean lines, and curated details, they start to imagine themselves in the home. That emotional connection, that's what leads to showings and offers. And beyond still photos, marketing tools like video walkthroughs, 3D tours, and drone footage take your listing to another level, especially in competitive price points or unique property. These assets don't just show the home, they tell a story about how it feels to live there. On the flip side, listings with poor lighting, cluttered rooms, or amateur photos often get skipped, even if the house is solid. Because if a buyer doesn't click on your home online, they'll never step through the door. But looking great online is only part of the equation. Being ready behind the scenes matters just as much. This is where preparation can make or break your sale. One smart move many sellers overlook: a pre-listing home inspection. Instead of waiting for surprises to come up during a buyer's inspection when you have less leverage, You get ahead of the issues, fix what makes sense, disclose what doesn't, and walk into negotiations with more confidence and fewer delays. Alongside that, it's worth considering a few targeted updates to improve how your home shows and appraises. Fresh paint and light neutrals, updated light fixtures or cabinet hardware, new carpet or refinished floors if worn, and clean, functional kitchens and baths. These are top buyer priorities. You don't have to do a full renovation, but small updates in the right places can have a big impact. Presentation isn't just about impressing buyers. It's about giving them fewer reasons to hesitate. And in today's market, where buyers are selective and inventory is growing, that extra level of prep can be the difference between a home that gets offers in week one and one that gets overlooked. Number 3, showings are the market speaking. Listen carefully. Once your home hits the market, showings are the most important signal we have. Because here's the reality. If buyers aren't scheduling tours in the first few days, the market is telling us something, and we need to pay attention. The first 5 to 14 days are your peak opportunity window. That's when the most serious, pre-approved buyers, people already watching your price range and neighborhood, see your home hit the MLS. These are the buyers who are ready to move. In fact, most buyers go from pre-approval to writing an offer in 2 to 6 weeks depending on inventory. And once they're under contract, it typically takes 30 to 45 days to close. But here's the catch. Those buyers won't wait. If your home doesn't generate showings early, they'll move on to the next new listing that does. Showings are the bridge between interest and action. When we launch a listing, we track those first few days like a hawk. Are agents calling or requesting tours? Are buyers saving or clicking on the listing? Are we getting showing feedback or silence? If we are not seeing traction, it's time to reassess. And here's where it gets real. Homes that sit without showings often end up needing multiple price reductions. And according to national data, those homes sell for 6 to 7% less than homes priced right from the start. On a $400,000 home, that's a $24,000 loss. Spread that over 60 days on the market, and it's costing the seller about $400 per day just by not making the right moves early. Zillow's research shows that homes on the market for 2 months typically sell for 5% under asking, and listings that drag on longer, 10 or 11 months, can drop as much as 12% below list price. That's why the early showing window is not just important, it's critical. On the flip side, when your home is ready, visible, and priced strategically, you'll often see showings in the first 24 to 72 hours. And when that happens, sellers must be ready, flexible on showing times, quick to clean and prepare, willing to make it easy for buyers to walk through, because every showing is a potential sell, and missed showings can lead to missed offers. Showings are the market speaking. Silence is the market warning you. Listen early, and you keep control of the outcome. Point 4, reverse offers. Stop waiting, start negotiating. Let's talk about a strategy most home sellers, and honestly most real estate agents, never think to use: the reverse offer. Here's the situation. Your home has been listed, you've had showings, but no offer. That's a frustrating place to be. And in this market, especially the upcoming season, it will become more common. Here's a smarter move. Send the offer first. A reverse offer flips the script. Instead of waiting for a buyer to write an offer, you, the seller, write one to them. This is how you take a buyer from "we liked it" to "we are in." And it's not just about price. It's about sending a clear message with your best terms, closing date, seller paid credits, home warranty, flexibility, a firm but fair price, and most importantly, a deadline that adds urgency. Because here's what most sellers don't realize. Buyers today aren't walking away because they hate your house. They're walking away because they're unsure if they'd get it at their number, unsure how negotiable you are, unsure if they are ready to act. And the longer they wait, the colder their interest gets. A reverse offer cuts through all of that. It says, "We see you, we heard your feedback, here's the deal, take a look." It's also an opportunity for you, the seller, to get crystal clear on what matters most. What price would you actually accept? Could a clean closing date or waived contingencies make it worth it? Would seller-paid closing costs bring a deal together faster? These details matter, especially now when every buyer matters more. Reverse offers don't signal desperation. They show that you're serious, engaged, and ready to negotiate. Because in this market, the sellers who lead the conversations are the ones who walk away with a deal. Number 5, price it right from the start, because the market won't chase you. Let's talk about one of the biggest levers you have as a home seller, your list price. For most sellers, pricing starts with what they hope to get, what a neighbor sold for, what they've invested in the home, or what they need to net to make the next move work. But buyers and appraisers don't think that way. Your price needs to be rooted in what similar homes have actually sold for, recently and nearby. That's where a solid CMA, comparative market analysis, comes in. A CMA looks at homes similar in location, size, condition, and style. And in a stable market, comps from the last 90 days might work fine. But in a shifting market like today's, things change fast. Rates rise, buyer demand softens during holidays, weather seasons, and school schedules, and what sold 90 days ago could already be irrelevant. That's why we focus on sales from the last 30 to 60 days and often cross-reference what's pending now to spot real-time pricing trends. And here's something many sellers overlook. Even if you find a buyer, an appraiser may be the one who ultimately decides how much you'll walk away with. Roughly 2/3 of home purchases involve financing, which means the lender is sending an appraiser to confirm value. And appraisers don't care about list price, they care about closed sales, adjustments, and objective comparable. So if you list too high, two things happen. You may scare away qualified buyers early, and even if you go under contract, you risk the deal falling apart at appraisal. And yes, cash buyers exist, but they're choosier than ever, and they expect value too. This is why pricing is a strategy, not a hope. Homes priced right from day one often sell within 2 to 3 weeks, with fewer concessions and stronger terms. But homes that miss the mark, they linger. They get reduced, and they often sell for less than they would have if priced right from the start. The longer a listing sits, the more buyers wonder what's wrong, and no amount of marketing can overcome the damage of being overpriced. Data shows that homes on the market for 60 plus days often sell for 5 to 12% below original list. That's why we don't test the market, we study it. Because in this market, you don't get a second chance at a first price.
The sellers who succeed in this market aren't the ones with the perfect house. They're the ones who have a strategy. You can still sell quickly and for a strong price, but only if you know how to price it, present it, and respond to buyer activity in real time. If that's what you want, let's talk. I work with homeowners that want more than MLS exposure. They want real direction, sharp marketing, and a clear outcome. As always, thanks for watching the video. Be sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.